Class ITV. Today I'm with my co-host Jamie Lenzer.
Hi.
And I'm Taylor, and we have a couple things to talk about today, one of which is the environmental PBL class. PBL stands for Project-Based Learning.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
It does,
wow.
Yeah, pretty interesting. I didn't even know the class existed.
But, do you know who teaches the class?
I do. It's taught by Mr. Brigham and Mr. Feiner.
Okay.
Some of the saviors in our school.
Cool.
And we're going to go ahead and check it out.
I'm really excited.
I'm here to talk about one of our new STEM classes, Environmental Project-Based Learning, that I'm co-teaching with Mr. Brigham. We're going to take a look at our hydroponic garden that we have going on in one of the school basements, but first I would start off with where we started with our hydroponic systems. This is one of the kind of homemade hydroponic systems that one of our 8th and 9th grade students made. You can see it's basically a 2-liter soda bottle with a wick or string running down to a water reservoir that's pretty much dried up. And this chicory is just barely alive. Some of it's already passed on up top here. And that chicory is sitting in what's known as a medium. These very soft rocks are known as perlite. And essentially the wick will suck water up through capillary action into the medium and allow the roots to get the nutrients they need in order to grow. With our larger hydroponic system, we can't put seeds directly into it, so we needed to have starters, and these are 2 tomato plant starters. One is an Italian tomato breed, the other is a green tomato, and we got both of these tomato seeds from the Shelter Island Library seed bank. So you'll see a slightly larger version of some of these tomato plants in our hydroponic system, which we have in our basement.
So we're back here with Mr. Feiner, down in the basement with the hydroponic system.
Yep.
So, what's the deal with this thing? Are these things basically what we saw upstairs with the water bottle?
It's a very similar design to what you saw upstairs with the 2-liter water bottle. I'll use our kale plant here, which is definitely thriving. And you can lift these off really nicely to see what's going on underneath. And you can see there's a big bucket of water with some bubbles in it, nicely enough, because of the little aerating stone that we have attached to our pump. Circulating the air through the water just makes sure that the water is not stagnant and growing any sort of bacteria. So yeah, we have a plant, a kale plant, a couple tomato plants here growing in a clay rock medium that is getting all its nutrients it needs from the water that's held in these buckets. It's not just regular tap water, it is water that we add in nutrients to make sure that it has everything the plant needs to thrive. And that's pretty similar to what we have upstairs.
Yeah, so I see that one has like white rocks.
Yep.
Is that the sulfur rocks we saw earlier?
Yeah, correct. So the white rock over there is perlite, which is a smaller, lighter medium. And then the brown, reddish clay is a clay pellet. The difference is the weight and really the structure in it. We used the white perlite for that heirloom tomato starter because it's still a little bit small. We were hoping it would be successful. As you can see, we have a blended mix here with some chicory that we attempted to transplant, and we were unsuccessful in transplanting some chicory from a perlite medium to a clay medium. So that it was an attempt. Hey, you're going to try anything, sometimes you're going to fit. The other thing that makes this a little bit different than a water bottle hydroponic system is the grow light that we have here, which has a couple different settings on it, and the air pump, which I mentioned. Along with that, the space-aged reflective tent allows most of the light to be reflected back up and hit the plants from as many sides as possible. So we have a couple settings on here. There's obviously no light if we need to put the plants into a sleep cycle. We have our vegetable growth blue light, or the flower bloom pink or red light, and then you can actually use them both together to create kind of a white light. Yeah, so it is a closed system. The water is going to stay in the buckets. We will have to check the nutrient levels and water levels, make sure we're not losing anything. So it does need some level of maintenance, but otherwise it's pretty much a closed system, where as long as we are regulating the light exposure for the plants, they'll go through their normal sleep and growth cycles, and we should have some plants that yield us some food in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
That seems like a really fun class. Kind of regretting not taking it.
Yeah, I kind of wish I was in it, but
Yeah.
we all have regrets that we have to live with.
Like calculus?
Yeah.
No, we're just kidding.
No, specifically calculus.
But next we have for you a segment about our new display cases right outside of the gym. So we're kind of just gonna roll right into it, right?
Yeah, we'll just right into it.
All right.
That's right.
Well, Mr. Gluccio came to me and asked if there's any way we can change up the display of the awards that we currently had. If you remember, there was 3 old glass cases which all the awards were in. They were too small and old. So I had a lot of material left over from a previous project, and I said that maybe I could come up with something. So I was able to come up with this design and used most of my leftover materials to build this. Last year, during the school year, I pre-made a lot of the pieces down in my shop. And then over the summer, beginning of last summer, after school was out, it took about 2 weeks to assemble. I wanted to make something that looked really nice and celebrated our athletes' achievements. My favorite piece to build was probably the middle part, where you see the full oak wall where those 2 banners are hanging, and there'll be, I think, 4 more of those poster-sized banners to list all of our athletes' accomplishments.
You know, I learned a lot about that display case.
I'm gonna be in that display case one day.
Yeah, aren't we all? Up next, a little related, we do Spirit Week in our school. It's the most spiritual of all 5 days. And each day is themed differently. And at the very end, we have a pep rally where the cheerleaders do a little dance. And we're going to have a montage of all the fun that has occurred over this time period.
Taylor, what was your favorite day of Spirit Week this year?
Probably Pajama Day.
Yeah,
Because
pajama days.
I wore my jeans and everybody yelled at me. So I got the most attention.
So that was a really fun week. Definitely probably my favorite week of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good... Wait a second. I'm getting a notification.
Next, I have an even more spectacular segment for you, which is Jeopardy.
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy is a show on TV. It comes on every night at 7 p.m. except for Sundays. But you can watch our Jeopardy any day of the week.
I think it's going to be a good segment, so let's get right into it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Shelter Island Jeopardy! All right, now to start off the teams, you got Team 1. Say your name, son.
Luca?
Yeah! Yeah, thank you. All right, for Team 2, what's your name?
I'm Betty.
Yeah, ooh, yeah. All right, and for Team 3, what's your name, kid?
Nathan.
Nathan, good to have you, Nathan. Let's start the question with Team 1.
Alright, I'm gonna go with Sports 200.
Sports 200. Which year did Lady Gaga perform in the Super Bowl's halftime show?
2017.
2017? I'm sorry, Luca, but you did not say what is, and you get 0 points.
Okay, y'all didn't say the rules. Okay.
All right, Team 2. Pick your category and number.
What is Sports 300?
Sports 300. What do you call a person who sits on the bench the entire game?
What is a bench warmer?
Bench warmer.
Foul.
What is a bench warmer? Congratulations. Team 3. Pick your number.
Shelter Island facts, 300.
300. What play was performed in 2017?
Was that, what is the Drowsy Chaperone?
Let's see. I'm sorry. It's not the Drowsy Chaperone, it was Curtains.
Gonna go with SITV 300.
SITV 300. What award did SITV win at the Bash Awards?
I know all the answers.
Ten.
What? What is? I'm just gonna make a guess. What is the Bash Award?
Bash Award. Let's see.
Open
Opening segment. No. Failure. Move on.
That was a pretty finesse opening segment.
Ladies and gentlemen, T3 is the winner. Zoom in on him. He won.
What did I win? What did I win?
Nothing.
Nothing.
This is the best broadcasting network in all of Shelter Island.
What is SITV?
That's right. And with that, we're going to close out this episode. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We had a great time.